Okay, guys, I want to read something to you. World War II forged an uneasy alliance between communists, socialists, and between liberals and conservatives in their common struggle against fascism. The alliance soon disintegrated, however, the Soviet Union established communist regimes in the Eastern European countries it had occupied at the end of the war. The Cold War had ensued, deepening the fissure between communists and other socialists, the latter seeing themselves as democrats opposed to the one-party rule of the Soviet Union and its satellites. The Labour Party, for example, won parliamentary majority in the British elections of 45 and subsequently established a national health care system and public control of major industries and utilities. When the party lost its majority in 51, it peacefully relinquished the offices of the government to the victorious conservatives. The communists also claimed to be Democrats, but their notion of people's democracy rested on the belief that people were not yet capable of governing themselves. Thus, Mao declared after Chiang Kai-shek's forces were driven from mainland China in 49 that the new People's Republic of China was to be a people's democratic dictatorship, that the CCP would rule in interest of the people by suppressing their enemies and building socialism. Freedom of expression and political competition were bourgeois counter-revolutionary ideas. This became the justification for one-party rule by other communist regimes in North Korea, Vietnam, Cuba, and elsewhere. Meanwhile, the socialist parties of Europe were modifying their positions and enjoying frequent electoral success. The Scandinavian socialists set example of mixed economies that combined largely private ownership with government direction of the economy and substantial welfare programs, and socialist parties followed suit. Even the SPD, in its Bad Godesberg program of 1959, dropped its Marxist pretenses and committed itself to a social market economy involving as much competition as possible, as planning as necessary. Although some welcome this blurring of the boundaries, hint, hint, between socialism and welfare state liberalism as a sign of the end of ideology. The more radical student left in the 60s complained that there was little choice between capitalism, the obsolete communism of the Marxist-Leninist, and the bureaucratic socialism of Western Europe. Guys, what I'm getting at here is I just want you to see what's going on in in the USA. Does that not sound a little bit familiar? Just think.